And we're back with the men's and women's 24-kilometer amateur race. Nigel, Parshu's gone for a small break, and let's see how this race pans out. In the meantime, I think we'll also be looking at the women's race and the men's amateur 50-kilometer race to finish shortly.
Yes, it would be nice to get some pictures of the women's elite race so that we could have a look at their finish. As we see the male amateur 24k ride just depart, and we can see it's a much more relaxed event for this category. A lot of people are waving. They're riding hybrid bikes, which are typified by the straight handlebars. Far fewer people are, or if any at all, are wearing cleated shoes. So we're seeing lots of people just turning up and participating in sneakers, on hybrid bicycles, which is exactly what we want to see in this category. People coming out and then having a go at riding on closed roads in a safe environment and enjoying themselves.
Absolutely, that's on a very nice day today as well. The uh, the clouds have given these riders a nice little shelter from the heat, and as we were discussing earlier today, the heat hasn't played much of a role in today's race specifically, because these guys, as you can see, are just chilling. And I see a little some of them on some high-end bikes who managed to sneak their way into this little 24-kilometer category. I think they just want to get themselves into the racing field, I guess.
Absolutely, and let's not forget that if you are in the amateur 24-kilometer category, there's still 50,000 rupees up for grabs for first across the line.
I know, right? With the total prize money of 33.6 lakhs for this single event, there's prizes to be won in almost all categories. And I think the age is also there.
Absolutely.
Look at the camera. When the cameraman asks you to look here, you've got to look there better for your beautiful pictures.
Riders, 24-kilometer race, 12 kilometers straight, then you are turning back. Finish is on the opposite end there. Just right in front of there is a gantry. The finish line is there. You have to just check that while you are turned back, there are tail enders on the road. Be right side of the road. Be careful.
And we're back to see there's some interviews going on with the riders over there. These guys are the MTB 24-kilometer riders who are just getting themselves organized to the start line. They're in the lineup station right now, and once we have the flag off for the women's 24-kilometer race, these guys will get to the front, and then they'll be started off as well. And here we see some more amateur riders, as Nigel said, relaxed ride, just enjoying, soaking up the atmosphere. And as I said, there's some really fast looking guys in this bunch as well.
And I believe, is this the result? Oh no, I'm not sure.
No,
what
that wasn't the result. That
was.
wasn't the result. That was just the list of riders who crossed the bunch sprint line, I guess.
And this is the flag off for the female 24-kilometer amateur ride.
It's very nice to see a lot of them turn up in the mornings today, and I think it's about we have around 250 odd. Altogether between the amateurs 50 kilometer, 24 kilometer.
We've got close to 1,000 participants across the two amateur distances,
Right.
male and female combined, and then we're expecting in excess of another 1,000 for the green ride itself.
Wow, that's a lot of people and a lot of enthusiastic riders, I would say, who've turned up today. This is such a great initiative by HCL on its own as well, along with some of the others who've been a vital part in organizing this event. We have lots of partners who sponsored this event. Yeah, before we get there, I think we have another little graphic here on the screen to tell you guys what the 24-kilometer route looks like. And again, they cross through various stations, and you can see in the graphic there are some hydration stations and medical stations which will be made use of by these riders specifically.
Absolutely. If these riders have just come out to come and ride on a safe, controlled and closed road, then they're not going to be too worried about the speed that they're riding, and it's good that they have the support from all of our support volunteers with hydration, with some food. There's technical assistance, and obviously we hope we don't have to use it, but there is medical assistance as well on the course.
Yeah, I mean, on a Sunday morning like this, I would definitely love to be on the bike outside with these guys, soaking up all the atmosphere. And just for the fun of it, racing aside, this is something that I would personally like everybody to do, right? Whether you're young, old, doesn't matter. If you've never ridden a bike, if you've been riding a bike, just get your friends together on a nice Sunday morning, get yourselves out, keep your legs moving.
Absolutely, get outside, get some fresh air, and kickstart a health and fitness regime. It doesn't have to be fast, it doesn't have to be far, but it can definitely be fun when there's a group of you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you can see with the amount of people who have just turned up, I can see an ocean of orange here. And these guys who've been, we're still going to get lined up, I guess, right now. And here we go, the women's 24-kilometer amateur race, if I'm not wrong. And we're back to the start line. Let's get back to whilst the guys are getting lined up. As you can see, again, these are the MTB riders who are being lined up over here. And as I was saying before, we've had a lot of support from the local Tamil Nadu government with the police, and we've had the SDAT who's been here helping organize this event as well. We have Akshaya Kalpa Organic, who's the refreshment partner, Hyper Ice, who's the recovery partner. I love their guns as well. And then we have HCL Healthcare, who's the corporate wellness partner.
And we mustn't forget the fact that our venue partner, Mayajal Complex, which is where we're based right now. This is where we are corralling all of the different categories, where they're being grouped into their different categories and then waved off. Before they get waved off, there's plenty of support. So there was Zumba, there was nutrition, there's various merchandising stands here. And then once they've finished their ride, they can come back to the complex, and that's kind of support and entertainment will still be going on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we have other partners as well who are not here at the venue, but we have bike tech partners who are Pro Bikers and Just Bicycles. I think they've been servicing the bicycles up front at the start of the day.
Yes, they've done an awful lot of work ensuring that riders that had any mechanical issues can participate today. And I must also give a personal shout out to Pro Bikers, who were the guys that lent me a bike and a helmet and some kit and enabled me to ride all three courses yesterday. So it's down to our partners at Pro Bikers that got me out on the course, and I was able to experience the fantastic route yesterday.
Oh yeah, I mean, these guys have been supporting me, as a local bike shop over here for years, and they've been around. I know the person who runs this business as well, and they have been a vital pillar of support to all the cyclists over here in Chennai, and not just Chennai, and anybody who's traveling. As you said, they happily lend you a bike to go on the course to see how it is, and that's how much of a support they're willing to offer.
And that's exactly what you need in a city like this. When we talk about a community of cyclists, it's not just the riders. It's the it's the retail support and the service support that you have from people like pro bikers, so that if you have an issue with your bike, you've got somewhere and you can take it to those guys. They know exactly what they're doing, and they can have you back up and running in no time.
Absolutely, that's pretty much. I mean, if you doesn't matter if you have a bike or not, if it's not able to run, you're not going to do much with it. So these guys are a vital cog in this entire ecosystem of getting yourselves out. And as we see here, there's a huge ocean of riders who are heading from this particular angle, and there we have the flag off again through some nice little smoke effects over there. The MTB riders are on their way, and there's some big prize money for the MTB category as well, if I'm not wrong.
There absolutely is. I think again that's is it 50,000 or 70,000 for the first person across the line in the male MTB?
Yeah, I think it's 50,000 for the first person to cross. Then we have 40 and 30, and this is between. I mean, it's the same for both men and women as well. So the prize money is split evenly between both the categories of the MTB riders.
And it is great to see such equality in sport. Not every sport, can say that they do the same. So thanks to HCL that male and female categories get exactly the same prize money. As we look at the MTB riders now rolling out of the start gate, these guys on MTBs on a road. I don't know how they do it with such thick tires and straight handlebars. Their aerodynamics are going to be far less efficient than the road bikes we saw earlier. The rolling resistance of the fat tires, they're really going to earn their prize money, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, HCL has done a great job, as you said, with the equality of all the prize money distribution, and the way they have encouraged women to come and take part as much as the men. And as you said, these guys are all itching to go ahead. I saw the pilot vehicle ahead who told the guys to calm down. I was like, slow down, we're not there yet. And once they hit the 1 kilometer mark, aerodynamics just gone for a toss with their wide handlebars and wider tires. There's little to less rolling resistance when compared to a very nice slick road bike tire. And we're back to the amateur 24 kilometer race. I see some little action. Somebody's trying to get away from this bunch. It's nice to see actually the men's. The graphic on the screen is a little. It's not correct. This is the men's amateur 24 kilometer race, and even though we said they're out for a little jolly coffee ride on a Sunday morning, there are some serious hitters who've turned up to this race.
There will be again. It's the attraction of the 50,000 rupees for first prize. So, if you don't fancy a coffee ride and a chat with your friends, then get up the front like this guy is now, and see if you can bag a few rupees for your efforts.
Action already, and I see a very close friend of mine, Srivatsan, who's there in his blue jersey, trying to, stick along, trying to get with the break, if that's what's happening right now. I see a little gap opening up already, and Jatin as well is a pretty good rider from here, and these guys, they must be cruising at around the winds must have changed a little bit now, but still I think upwards of 37, 38, or even 40, do you think?
I think by looking at their body language right now, they're probably mid-30s. Mid-30s, yeah. It'll be hard enough for a decent workout, but not so fast that that they're getting anywhere near the elite speeds.
Yeah, I think they've just realized that that speed was a bit too much for them, and then they've just slowed down a bit uh, at the back. And we're back to the MTB guys. Again, an ocean of orange, and with a little bit of people out front, and there's some hitters again who are trying to get their way back to the front of the race.
Yes, these guys on their MTB bikes. Again, it's great if the only bike you own is an MTB bike, then there's an opportunity for you to bring it along and then participate in an event like this. As we still see the flag off. I think, which category is this?
They're still the riders from the MTB, because we had about I think, if I'm not wrong, there were around 300 people or upwards of 300 people for that particular event.
And I think we're getting different categories kind of bled together right now, because there are people on MTBs, and I think the MTB guys are actually catching the tail enders of the amateur 24k road event. That's what we're seeing here.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. And the women's race should be coming to an end in some time now. And as you can see, someone's throwing up the peace sign, or they just want to say hi to the camera. But as you rightly said, that's pretty much what's happening. And we got some action here in the front again with the men's 24 kilometer. They've decided to give it a shot again. Do you think, with the body language, what do you think? Little up in the speed right now?
I think now, yeah, this definitely looks like high 30s, and the amateur 24k event is the perfect platform to have a go and to try something. If these guys are going to be averaging close to high 30s, then the longest their ride is going to be is probably 40 minutes. So you're not really going to die of exhaustion out there, but you can just have fun, experiment, try something out, see what works, and then maybe next year come back and try the amateur 50k, or even move up to the elites.
That's exactly what I'd be thinking of as well. Get a little taste of how the racing experience is, while doing a small event, just to see how it feels. And then if you like it, you can always shift towards train harder and get yourselves onto the 50 or even the elite, if I may. And I did see somebody just chugging in a little pack of gel to get themselves fueled. Even it's a shorter race, but I think that a gel, rather than during the midway point for this race, having it at the start is actually better, don't you think?
Especially, yes, if you've had to get up at 4 or 5 a.m. this morning and then you grabbed a light breakfast. It's now just gone 20 past 7, so your breakfast was nearly 2.5 hours ago. So yeah, why not top up your breakfast as you cross the start line? Then at least you've got enough energy inside you to get to the finish.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, because these guys travel from various parts of the city, and since we are in the outskirts of the city, easily couple of hours must have passed out after they've had their morning snack or breakfast in this case. And for a shorter period of race, you need all the energy you can get to survive. Or the race, as you can see already, they've taken their U-turn, which is the halfway point of this race. And if you have, I think he timed his gel perfectly there, if I'm not wrong. It'll last him till the end of this race.
Yep, and ideally what you want is a little bit of caffeine in there as well, so that you get an extra little kick. Again, it's these guys would have all been up very early this morning, so the lucky ones may have got 4 hours sleep. Maybe nerves have kicked in, and you haven't slept that well, and so you need a little reminder from something like a gel that just keeps you awake and alert, and more able to enjoy the day's events.
Yeah, I mean, I think the little shift in winds has picked up the speed for this pack. As I can see, it's already strung out, which means the front of the race has kicked it up a notch. And as you can see, there were a little group of riders before, and now they're in a single straight line, which means that the pace has picked up in this race.
Yes, it has. And as we were discussing earlier, the performance delta, so the difference between the fastest guy and the slowest guy in the amateur 24 kilometer category is going to be far greater than what we saw in the elites. What that means is you're not going to see a big bunch swarming together constantly throughout the entire event. And what we're seeing now are small breakaway groups form based basically on ability.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, depending on how strong or weak you are, you're going to be either in the front of the race or you're going to be struggling at the back of the race to hang on to the last rider in front of you. And we here again have a nice shot of, I like this little mix where we can get to see some calmness in between all the chaos that's happening. These MTV riders are actually chilling, and I do see some different colored jerseys in between the orange ones. Are they taking it easy or are they waiting? Oh, there we go.
Oh, here we go.
I think it's the sprint happening now. Somebody's trying to go and there's a little chase.
Yes, don't look over your shoulder. Just keep pushing. Commit. You have to commit and go. You cannot commit and then look over your shoulder and have second thoughts, because then that's a wasted effort.
Yeah, I think these guys are just trying to get themselves organized into a pack just before the U-turn. And here we can see we're back into the fast-paced action where these guys have already taken a U-turn and they're heading quite comfortably towards the finish line, I suppose. I think they have, let's say, about 5 kilometers left, maybe.
Yep, 5 or 6 kilometers. Certainly they're going to be into the last 10 minutes of their event, so they'll be thinking about, just as the elites did, what's the best opportunity for me to get across the line first? Do I go now and just release everything I have and try and go it alone? Do I try and cajole a couple of guys to come with me? Or do I just sit in the bunch and trust my sprint?
Yeah, those are some really valid options that the rider has to make. But then he has very little time, or they have very little time on their hands to take a call and see, depending on how their legs feel, and also if they have some teammates left with them to take a call as to what they would like to do.
And as we can see, those sorts of tactical concerns are not worrying the group of riders that we're looking at now. They are literally just out enjoying these fantastically smooth and well-controlled and very safe closed roads as we head back to the amateur 24 male category.
I would recommend him not to keep staring at the camera and just keep riding, but then it's something that we all do, don't we? When we see the camera vehicle in front, you always have to give them a little nod or a smile or just wave at them.
Absolutely. I'm a sucker for cameras, especially when I'm racing, because as a cyclist, it's very tough to get good footage of you because you're decked out in a kit which is so similar to what everybody else is wearing that every time you see a camera, there is something inside you which clicks, which says, I want a good picture out of this at least.
I know, that's absolutely true. And you know what? Some people whom I know, just for getting themselves in front of the camera, they always come and ride in front of me. I'll be like, thank you so much for your little effort. You can wave to the cameras all you want. Please eat some more wind. But yeah, that's absolutely true, Parshu. And these guys have taken a little break again from the little action that we had earlier.
It certainly looks like a much smaller bunch. What would you say, about 30 riders? And so they're beginning to look to see who's left. Now, if I was in that bunch, I'd be saying, okay, we've split the bunch. We started off with around 250 riders. We've probably got 50 left in the bunch. I can halve that again. That's what I'd be trying to do.
Yeah, it's a good time to honestly, when the bunch is about 30 riders strong, it's a good time to wait and see how it's going to play out, because you don't want to be the one that burns all your matches, and set somebody else up for a stronger finish. So now is a good time for anyone who's setting their sights on the win to actually see what's going to happen next. And then cycling is all about reacting to situations and making the best decisions, quick decisions when the situation arises. So being in the moment, being smart is super important to end up with a good result.
Absolutely, Parshu. And as we talk about, hard hitting races, we're just about to kick off the Green Ride, which is the brilliant initiative by HCL guys who, gotten all of these people. I think we have about over 1,000 participants in the Green Ride alone, and which encourages them to, come outside and get themselves into the fitness world, get them to start riding. And we're back to the amateur 24-kilometer race, and we see some local representation from Mad Rascals. I think that's Raj on his Cannondale over there. And we saw earlier, Nigel, when we saw earlier, they were strung out at the high pace, and now they're back into a bunch, which means that they have again gotten themselves to a little slower pace to get themselves a little bit of a breather before the final sprint happens.
Today is super exciting for all of us viewers because we're getting to witness so many different races in such a short span of time. But what's standing out to me right now, at least, is the fact that we can see so many differences between what an elite peloton looks like versus what an amateur peloton looks like. Nigel, what do you think? What are the main differences between an elite peloton and an amateur one?
Firstly, as we see a couple of guys crossing the line.
I think these are people from the amateur 50 kilometers ride, if I'm not wrong. Yes, the orange bibs. I think these are the guys who have just crossed the line for the amateur 50-kilometer race. And sorry, Nigel, you were about to say?
Yeah, one of the differences between the bunches that we see at elite level versus amateur level. Number one is the speed. So the elite guys are going to be going a lot faster. Number two, it's the positioning and technical skills of the guys involved. We saw in the elite bunch, they were riding very, very close together. The sort of skills that I would be coaching these riders would be, you've got to be able to ride next to the guy and be able to touch elbows and shoulders. That's how close you have to be.
Yes, that's, I mean, it makes a lot of difference, as the closer you are, the less wind you're exposed to, and it helps you to hide from, it helps you to avoid spending a lot of energy trying to close the gap between the wheels. And the closer you are, the better it is for you to save a bunch of watts.
Absolutely. But also at this level, these guys probably wouldn't have practiced this type of bunch riding this frequently, certainly with this number of riders involved. And so it can be extremely intimidating when you find yourself in the middle of a bunch and you've got a rider literally 6 inches in front of you and to either side and on your wheel, and you have to have eyes in the back of your head.
Absolutely. It's a very small bunch now as well. Imagine if the elite race had about, I would say, 100 riders to start off with, and when the bunches happened, we had about 60, 70 odd people who were very close knit as well. They weren't, they made sure that they did not have a lot of gap between them, and they were always in a tight knit space. And I can see the rider telling the camera person to move out of the way. And we are back to the MTV action. But going back, this race is still, everything is in for it for the person for the 1, 2, 3 spots. And I can see the people from Chennai are still up in front. I would really like them to go back, save a little bit of energy. But they're just there out in the front. And as you can see, a brilliant shot. Wow, look at this, Nigel. How does this look?
Yeah, this is incredible. So this is the Green Ride assembling themselves on the start line. We've got approximately 1,000 riders. waiting to be flagged off. The green ride is going to be around 15 kilometers. It's just one short loop with one very safe turn, and we just hope that they start and finish with a big smile on their face.
Absolutely, that's something that will encourage. I mean, a lot of my friends, who've never done cycling, or who always question me when I go out for my rides, and they'll be like, "Where have you been the last 4 hours?" And then I tell them, "This is the joy of cycling," and events like this is where people come in and experience the actual wonders of cycling as well. And as you can see, these guys have just crossed the Mutukadu Bridge, which you must have seen yesterday on your little route, Reki.
I did. Well, I would have seen that 3 times because I rode I rode all 3 routes yesterday. Yes, I tried to take in as much scenery as I could. It's a beautiful part of the country. It's a lovely piece of road. And I think for the amateur riders, there's no better place than to come and experience cycle racing.
Absolutely. There's no doubts in that, because this particular road where we're having this race, you get to see the sunrise every single day. If you're out at about 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning, you're definitely going to be seeing the sunrise, whichever side of the road you're riding on, because it's always on the other side of the road. Whether you're going towards Mahabalipuram or on your way back, you get to see this wonderful sunrise. And please get out of the way is what the rider at the back is ushering to the motorbike, the camera person in front, because he doesn't want them to get a little draft and a boost of speed.
And someone ought to tell the guy on the front that is another illegal hand position on his handlebars.
That's quite dangerous as well, isn't it? To have your hands there right in the front. A little slip could cost the entire peloton.
Exactly. Absolutely. And that's why the UCI banned this. Yeah. We don't want to encourage things like that. And maybe someone's just told this guy because he's now put his hands back in the correct position on the bars. And as we speak, someone else is...
I mean, he's trying to get away, and these guys are really close to the finish. And as I said, the guys have actually shifted positions now. I see the Tamil Nadu team with the under 18 guys. No, that's the HCL jersey. Sorry, my bad. These guys again picked up the pace when they're heading towards the finish line. I think they're only about a couple of kilometers away from the finish line.
They are, and if I was in the bunch, I'd still be thinking this bunch is too big. We can thin it out a bit. It's still all to play for. We can hopefully shed a few of the weaker riders and give ourselves a better opportunity of finishing higher up in the prize money.
Oh yes, Nigel, and as you can see, the women's riders who have been hidden from us all this time, they're just on screen right now. And you can see again, there's a lot of teams who've turned up for this event, and they're just having a go at this race. And we're back to the amateur 24 kilometers. There's a lot of stray riders from the previous events. I really hope they'd move out of the way and give these guys a little space to ride.
That's just the reality of cycling as a sport, though. It's always going to be a very, very dynamic environment that you're going to be racing in, and it is definitely the responsibility of the organizers to ensure a safe environment, but the riders as well need to be on hyper alert mode 24/7, because at the drop of a hat, you never know what's going to happen. You need to be ready to deal with the worst of worst situations.
Totally agree. You never know what happens. Just a split second decision that changes everything in the course of the race. We saw in the men's elite race, we had a big crash at the end. Anything, we never know what happens during the race, and it's up to us to be extremely hyperactive and alert.
And I don't know if you realized, but it was after that crash in the men's elite race that the final action actually took place, because when that crash happened, there was a lot of dysfunction in the bunch, and that's when a lot of attacks went through. And I think that's when the final breakaway of three
Yeah.
also made their gap.
Yeah, there were some really alert people who took advantage of that little crash with the chaos and commotion that has happened. And I mean, they must have had some really good technical bike skills as well to, dodge from the crash and, get themselves to the break up ahead as well. And these guys are in the final stretch now. Right. Just before these guys finish, a little recap of the route which the 24 kilometer guys have taken. They, cross various landmarks like the MGM Disney World, the Mutukadu Boathouse, and then they finish back where they started at Mayajal. Just to give you guys a little info on how the 24-kilometer race is happening. And we are back live to the finish line. I see some people who are up. Oh, he's just asking for someone to take a turn in the front. That's really not a good strategy. Asking for help.
I think he was asking more for race information, because I'm pretty sure he wants to know how far away the finish line is. But that's a question that I have as well. How much time do we have left before we reach the finish?
They're just about a kilometer and a half away, Parshu. It's not far now. I think the green riders are waiting to be flagged off right now. If I'm not wrong, both men's and women's are going to be flagged off. It's Dr. Atulya Mishra. And there we go. The flag off's done. Mishra, sorry. For the green riders. And I think right now we should have the finish happening soon as well.
A huge event such as this one is impossible without the support of so many different bodies, and the government of Tamil Nadu has played a huge role in successfully executing this event. So hats off to them, hats off to HCL, and all the other sponsors as well. We've got